Hello everyone, this is Jack and welcome back to my channel. Last week we spent a couple days in the west side of Santo Amaro in the Maranhenses, and this time we're going to drive an hour and a half to the east to go see the opposite side of where all of these dunes end. This is our last morning in the Quintal de Areas, and we started with a lovely breakfast and some sunlight. I'm actually really going to miss this place, but if you guys visit, be sure to stay here. Just remember to book in advance. The weather was lovely, although it was a little windy, but that's okay. It really did show a difference though once we get to the dunes later that evening. But for now, enjoy the sun with me. Here are some of the items that were served during breakfast. I didn't get to actually film me taking food from the buffet because it had to be covered at all times, but since we had a slow-ish morning, I decided to slow down and really spend time on the details.
No tripod, no problem. Anything could be a tripod.
It was a snug ride because we took one truck and we were all inside this time to head to the other side. And although it was an hour and a half, it went by pretty quickly. I think we stopped once maybe for a rest stop, but here are some of the footage that I got to capture during our ride through the Brazilian countryside. A lot of thin animals, but you know what? Everything is lush and organic and just really pleasant. So this time we were staying a little further away from the park, probably about a half hour or 20 to 30 minute drive, and this was the Porto Preguiça Resort. Preguiça is actually funny because it means like a sort of lethargy or like laziness, kind of like chillaxing, you know, which is well named for what they offered.
Ooh, swimming pool.
Agora se eu morasse aqui eu faria.
This place is so cute. It is actually right off the river, and they kept our bags for us since it wasn't time to check in yet. But they have these little bungalows that have rooms, that have their own little yards, and lots of really cute art that has been collected over the years to give their kind of nautical theme and countryside theme. We also have a potter that makes a lot of their ceramics that lives in the back that we'll meet in just a bit. And yeah, 3 swimming pools, not to brag or anything, and they're all different, as well as a fountain, and it's just really nice. They also have a big cafeteria area for locals because it does take 10 to 15 minutes to get into town, but they have a lot of options with food and the size portions are huge. This chapel was painted so beautifully and was like a romanticized version of the dunes. If you had seen my previous couple of videos, it's pretty accurate, don't you think? We walked around the property pretty slowly just to get our bearings of where everything is. This is a map of what the area looks like, where all the dunes are, and it's pretty cool to see, you know, a zoomed in version of what the locals depict it as.
Ooh, pretty nice. Bathrooms. Fans.
This is their shower. Or is that a light? Oh, just kidding. Well, you could do some exercise. pots. You could just go right into the river. Feels good. What? It's got sand. And they really like their Heineken. Okay, the pottery is called Olaria. Oh boy. Oh, they have a little tower. Aww. So cute. Wow, this is their oven. It's a brick oven. Oh, I like the suns. I mean, how fast are you gonna sculpt? Oh, the spider is making art too. Pretty. And wiggly. What the hell is that? What is that? But they're like swimming.
I know. Ew.
Maybe we don't. Okay. Hola! Monsieur Luis. This is his work. So cute. He sells all his items. It's a little... Here, you go put your vitamins. I didn't know it was on a pole.
Yeah, because I was asking, is this coconut tree? So no,
Is it? Never. Cute. It's like Brazilian countryside. Don't worry, we do get to eat eventually, but I just wanted to grab some footage because the lighting was perfect. Oh, fermenting. No. Olive oil? Yeah, the decor in this place was so pretty. I think that whoever designed it really was in love with all of these little things, from actual functional carts and tablecloths and lights. You could see glass buoys that are real, that are hanging from the ceiling, and the beams. Those were actually used from back in the day and are considered vintage today. Wow, there's a lot of the pottery here. Copper pots. Oh, so cute. Aw, they have him on here to advertise. The owl's cute too. Luis Santos. Oh wait, Antonio.
yeah, but if it's sweet, that's called the sun.
Oh wow. Oh, that's the size of my hand, bro.
You don't have to teach me.
Bebado.
Try first.
I did.
There's still the olive oil and the... Yeah, we should get good review. Do you want to share? That's what I thought.
Why is it in a cave?
Actually, I like it better like... Okay. That is rustic. Ooh, we have a safe. What's this? Oh, bathroom with the shower. Dunk. Screens are covered, which is nice. I got the ghost sound. And then this is really cool because you could dry your stuff out here. Look at that plant. All right, so we did a half day with a new company to check out the dunes for the sunset. The rides were brutal. It was way more bumpy on this side because of the sand. Okay, so I need to correct myself. It was 45 minutes to get into the park and then another, I don't know how many minutes to get to each lake. So it was 45 minutes of bumpy roads, and you'll see more tomorrow. But our guide got lost and the other guy was trying to tell him how to get out of the sand and he wouldn't listen. So we were stuck like wheeling one direction and another because he was being stubborn. And yeah, that drama doesn't end there. I also preferred the other side better to this side of the dunes because it just is so much more windy here and the sand is so fine that it's so easy to kick up into the air because of how windy it is. And it gets in your mouth and your eyes, even if you're wearing scarves and sunglasses. As you can see, there's also more dark patches on this side, and I don't know if it's because the sand is retaining more of the wetness underneath the surface, which makes it darker because you know how when sand gets wet, it does turn incrementally darker. I don't know. But yeah, the driver was like so unhelpful. This tour guide company did not have any chairs, no umbrella. These were add-ons apparently that you had to specifically request. We also had to stop for water, and the driver put his water in our cooler with ours after opening it. So we were like, okay, well, now we have to like pay attention to where his is. And he was just acting like a customer. He wasn't acting like he was in customer service. He even came down from the car and just like lounged on the beach also. I was like, what is going on with this guy, man? There was a younger guy who was way more amicable and he stood in the car the whole time. He was like minding his own business and he was the most helpful. All right, ready to hear the wind for a sec? Yeah, that is the wind through my phone without even adjusting the volume. But you could also tell by the sand that's blowing in the wind and how fast the water is moving on the surface of the lakes. I don't know. It was a beautiful sunset, but part of the experience was definitely there could have been more room for improvement. And actually, when my parents wrote to the company, because we all felt this way, they replied with, yeah, okay, we'll talk to the driver and there's room for improvement, and I hope tomorrow will be better, because we were going to hire the same people to guide us through a whole day the next day. Ugh, I totally missed Atlantica. We did get a couple of different guys the next day, but we didn't tip these guys, even though I said, hey, why not the younger dude? And my mom was like scared that he was gonna share it with the guy who really didn't deserve it. The drama still doesn't end here. Anyway, back to nature. Some of my favorite moments are right after the sun sets, because because the sun is really tough to look at with your bare eyes. And so when the colors are still really vibrant, or even more vibrant because the sun has already gone down and there's more ability for colors to really saturate the sky rather than have a bright ball of shining light in your face, it's nice. I really loved how the sand looked in this area because it looks like a planet. You know how you see that from the outside, and it's just very marbly and swirly, and it makes really cool tracks. All right, it was time to head back to the resort, and my mom and my sister opted to sit on the inside. My mom was scared that my sister's butt would fracture or something because of all the bouncing around. The ride was quieter, but it was also because our driver was forced to slow down because we were following a bunch of other trucks in front of us. And when we had free reign, he would step on the gas so hard and just like gun it. And it was just, oh man, we couldn't wait to get out of this truck. He wouldn't let other trucks go in front of us, and so he tried to like drive aggressively, and other trucks were also trying to like get around the big mass of what was the traffic line. But it's like, come on guys, we're all going the same route. We're all trying to get home. Everybody's trying not to die. Let's work together, shall we? But the real kicker was this stop, which was like, oh, what? Our driver was hungry, so he stopped for dinner and a coffee. Look at all these people heading home, and we had to stop because our driver was hungry. Oh my god. That was so ridiculous. I don't know if this was some sort of power play, but it wasn't funny and it wasn't fun. And I don't understand the point of driving aggressively and not letting other people cut in front of you if you're just going to let them all go later on. I don't know. He also picked up people from our resort the next day, and we just did not acknowledge each other because I guess he wasn't a fan of the fact that we didn't tip him or his guy for the day. I'm sorry. Tips are earned, not required.
What's up, chef? Nighttime ambiance, a lot of LEDs.
One thing I did learn though was that if you put your center of gravity in the middle of the bed of the truck, it's less of a jiggle.
This is supposed to be for 2 people.
Yeah. 2 people? Go ahead.
Can't get rid of.
My mom and I had a caipirinha each after that. We needed one.
Can you put your hand there so we could get scale?
You're like posing like 90s kids right now.
Cute.
Anyways, I spent the rest of my evening talking to my partner while watching the moon. Next week, we're going to explore other lakes in the area. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it so that other people can learn more about the Santo Amaro area. Subscribe and click the notification bell so that you know when I have new content out. I post every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And until next time, keep curious, everyone. Jack out.